This is a great project for scraps. Particularly if you have some fabric that you absolutely love that you just can't use in the way that you intended to. It's fantastic for lightweight cottons. I love old sheets for this. So you can go into your closet and find all the weird sheets that you thought you'd use. Maybe you don't need like 5 sets per bed. No judgment. It's also super portable, and since everything else that I love to do involves sitting at a sewing machine in some dark room, okay, it's nice and light in here, but still I'm in my garage, people. This one is fantastic for taking on the road, and that can just be taking into the house and not having to make, the sewing machine noise while everybody's trying to watch a movie. It's a nice, quiet project that it travels well, is what you could say. It takes only strips of fabric. If you're lucky, you just tear them and you don't even cut them. It's snip and tear. A crochet hook. And your favorite little pair of scissors that you feel like traveling with. And that's it. Cheap, fun, washable. Fantastic trifecta of realities. How much fabric do you need? This is a project that takes, some fabric people would say yardage. It's going to take some yardage. It's part of the reason that I use vintage sheets, just leftover thrift shop sheets. It's because it's a cheap way to make a rug. If you took expensive cotton, you could surely do this. It'd be less cheap. But if you're a person that just loves some fabric that you haven't used and you already own it, absolutely go for it. I think you could expect to have to buy 3 to 4 yards to even make a smallish rug, like the sort of thing that you would stand on in front of the kitchen sink or throw down on the floor in the bathroom. Start cutting strips, and when I say cut, I really mean rip. So now, my width is my knuckle width, which, I don't know, I'd say it's 1.25 inches. If you're a person who loves to hold a ruler in your hand, then take out a little ruler and measure 1.25 inches. Otherwise, look at this. I put my thumb on here, and I just line some of my knuckles up on the left, and I go snip, and I eyeball that piece. What happens is the reason to have these pieces consistent just has to do with the final weight of the rug. I get a couple more pieces torn here. I think I'm going to mix this with, I've got this lovely Turk. We might pull this white and Turk in later. We're not sure yet. Make a slip knot. Guess that's all I have to say. Make a slip knot. And then pull it. To get going, I'm going to put my crochet hook. I like this size. This says it's a P. I started making these with the big mother load, bigger than my car hook, a Q. But then I kind of popped down to this nice, usable, feels better in my hand. This is purely preference. You're working with a thicker, 1.5 inch wide piece of fabric, so you're going to need something big enough. I wouldn't go any smaller than the P. And we do 3 chain stitches. A chain stitch, I'm going to show you how to do it in a second. But if you already know how to crochet, I'm just going to tell you, you do 3 chain stitches, and that's how you get started. And then this happens, truth in advertising. You get these weird threads. Here's what I do as I go. There. I've got 3, and you want to be thinking the entire time you're making a rug about working on a flat surface. Now, my grandma, when she taught me to do this, said really the best rugs happen literally if you can do them on a table the entire time. I have never been able to pull that off because I love to work in the car and, at that sort of thing. In a movie theater, have I done that? Maybe. I've done it in a meeting. I'll tell you that much. So we want to flatten this row of 3. We're going to turn it, and I'm going to find that hole, that first slip knot I made, and put my crochet hook through that hole. Then I'm going to grab this big long tail hanging. I'm going to grab it and pull it. And when I get this now I have 2 living on my hook. And this is called a double chain stitch, or at least that's what they'd tell me, because this just in, I actually don't know how to crochet. Not officially. I just know how to make rugs using crochet. It's different. So I've got 2 on, and I'm going to go back. Not this guy. He's going to just live. I'm going to go back to the long tail that I have. And what I want is to be pulling this long tail through as many loops as I make. So I'm going to grab this long tail and I'm going to pull it through those 2 loops that were on my hook. And I've done 1 double crochet stitch. I think they call it a double chain. I'm sure people will call and tell if I called it the wrong thing. Now, really the whole rug is made with that 1 double crochet stitch. But what we've got to do is turn corners. There is actual math, my friends. Hello, there's math. I don't do it by math. There's math to be done, and if you want to learn the math, go ahead, it'll absolutely work, but you don't have to. You can make a rug using a crochet stitch purely by feel. So if I just know, this guy has to stay here and he'll become less annoying later, but for now he's going to drive us crazy. Really what I'm doing is I'm hunting for more spaces to do that same pull the long tail through and then attach it to 2 loops. Well, I can't make the corner here, so when I can't make the corner, I'm going to grab and just do a chain stitch, which just means I'm grabbing the big tail through the loop I have. I'm going to do that. And then look, now if I'm pretending my hand is the table, I could do that, but I don't want to. I'm going to turn the corner, put my crochet, I found a hole right here. I'm going to put my crochet hook through there and I'm going to find the long tail and pull it through. And look, when I did that, just like before, I've got 2 on my crochet hook. Now I find the long tail and I want to pull that through the 2. And I'm going to do the same. More weird threads. Please remove the threads. Please remove the threads. Threads removed. Now I'm trying to make the corner again. So I'm going to need to do an extra chain stitch just so I've got enough to do that. You get the feeling. You know, when I start these rugs, what I notice is that they're not that attractive. And look at here. They look like a big weird ball. You're working on the back side of the rug. This guy's going to live there. And it's going to become that. It's going to get cuter as we go, I promise. I'm going to pull this guy through. I've got 2 on. Hey, look, I'm getting to the end. Now I'm going to show you how to attach another piece to here. I take the new piece, the new strip, and I want to have a little hole right here. So I'm going to fold it and snip it. And when I do that, when I snip it on the fold, ta-da, I get a hole there. I'm going to do the same thing to the big long tail that we shortened by turning it into loops here. I'm going to snip this, not all the way through to the end because that would be cutting it off. We don't want that. We want it to look like this. Ta-da, like a bit, wah, 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 kind of like that. So I take the new guy and I put it, I'm putting the 2 holes together. So I'm going to put it behind the old guy tail, like this. Then I'm going to take the end of the new die tail. Where is he? Where'd he go? Big, long, unruly end. Think of how hilarious this is to do when somebody else is driving. Don't crochet and drive. Here we go. I'm going to get the end of the new guy, and I'm popping it through the top. And I make a little knot. I put it through the top of both of those holes, and I pull it through. Oh, for the love. I'm pulling it through. Here we go. Where'd it go? All the way through, all the way through. I'm holding on to the blue one, the old one, while I'm pulling in the new one. Foop. I have a very cool knot. And again, all this obnoxious string management is normal. It's not you. It's just how these things go, particularly when you use sheets. It's got this great knot. You know, if I took 2 pieces of fabric and I just tied them together, which I started, you know, that's what I did when I first made these. It still works, but then you get all these weird ponytails in the middle of the rug you're making. You know, you get these extra tails that hang out. When I do the little trick I just showed you, which I did not invent, I just found, I get a nice smooth join. And then I just continue. What happens is that as I crochet, so I'm back here where I was, as I crochet, string management, the number of times I need to add a chain stitch to go around a corner just kind of changes around. See, and do you see what I did there? I pulled to make this loop bigger, and I can do that when I need to make that corner. See, look, I can make that corner okay. I don't need a chain stitch there. And I'm here, 2 on, I'm going to pull the old tail through, turn the corner, down through the loop, 2 on, pull it through. Oh, and I'm not even gonna lie to you, it's so strangely relaxing. You're always fighting the reality of tension in these rugs. They always, in their heart, they just want to be a bowl. If they could write us a little note, it would say, "Can I please just be a bowl?" And we have to say, "No, I'm so sorry, not at this time." They want to be a bowl, so you're having to kind of add looseness to them as you go. Having said that, you know, pre-wash the fabric so that it doesn't happen to you. But look at there, I've continued and oh, it's getting cuter. Because it's so undoable, it's lovely. If I got to here and I was like, I just want more red, this blue is bugging me. Check me out. Oh, no one cry. This is the beauty of making something that can be easily unmade. It didn't take me 8 hours to do it, and I can change my mind and I can pull to here and I can go back to red. I changed my mind again, I'm going to redo it. And before you know it, you'll be finished. I want to remind you it's really normal for it to be sort of oddly shaped when you finish. It might still kind of want to be a sort of bowl, and that's really normal. Sit it down flat, maybe put some books on top of it when you're finished, and you'll find that if you just sort of lovingly mush it into the ground, it'll find a home and end up there. You know, when you're finished with the very last stitch, I do something really low-tech, like sort of, I don't know, I literally kind of wrap it in and out and let that little final tail live and hang on my last piece that I crocheted, hang on the back. This is officially the back, the Brady side. This is officially the front, the naughty side, but at the end of the day, it's preference. So they're not hard. Go make one. And thanks, Grandma, for teaching me how.